Hello and welcome to another video from Budapest, Hungary. Today we're at the end station of the Red Line and we're going to go on a mission from east to west, Pest to Buda, checking out all of the different stations inside and outside, some of the best things that we can see and do, so let's get on with it.
As you can see, the area around this end station is very busy, a couple of large shopping centres and plenty of residential apartment blocks close by. For today's adventure on the Red Line or Line 2, we're going to be using a 24-hour Budapest travel card, which at the time of filming cost 2,500 Hungarian forint, or around £5. Let's head into the station, board the train and get today's journey underway. Taking a closer look at the map, there are 11 stations on this line. We're starting on the Pest side of the river in the east and dipping in and out of the stations as we adventure along the line into the city centre and eventually under the river to the more hilly Buda side, checking out some spectacular views back over the city. As if by magic, we've arrived at the open-ended second station, Pályaudvar.
So after yesterday on the yellow line saying that Budapest seemed pretty empty, which was a Monday, I was wondering if it was a bank holiday or something. Today is Tuesday and that first area, I think it was Fairytale, was really busy. Almost too much going on, kind of hard to film, everybody looking, everybody getting in the way of the shots, loads of noise. So actually quite tricky. Looks like lots of stuff to do there in terms of shopping as well, huge shopping centres and supermarkets all gathered in that area. Anyway, we've come to the second station. I think there's meant to be some kind of sports stadium area close to here, but it's not immediately obvious how to get to it because the metro track is here. But even in the station and around the station, there's no obvious way of going under it or over it to get to the park that I think is at the other side. So I'm assuming from the map, we have to head further down this way and then almost like diagonally back. We'll see.
So, I didn't find any kind of athletics track or sports stadium, but there were some cool views over the metro tracks, some quirky old buildings, and some grassy rails, which I'm guessing may lead to some train storage. Not sure. If you're a Budapest Metro expert, please do let us know in the comments. Onwards to the third station, named after Hungarian footballing legend Ferenc Puskás, which is a lot of shush in one name. Obviously I managed to find a Burger King on the way, nom nom. Again, pretty busy round here, plenty of cars as well as trams old and new rolling by. The metro line we're following today has an estimated daily ridership of 350,000, so a fair amount. There's a cute little market just outside the station selling books, clothing, as well as a variety of food options. Up the stairs, it seems there's a rather long queue forming.
Another huge sporting area with different arenas, but it looks pretty hard to get into all of it unless there's something at the other side, maybe from the next station, Keleti, the train station. There's also a huge queue in the background here for this arena, which I assume is for some kind of concert tickets. Maybe Harry Styles is in town or something like that. But for now we're going to get back onto the metro and take it one more stop to Keleti and see what we can see around there.
The arenas are Puskás Arena Football Stadium and the indoor multi-purpose Budapest Sports Arena. Opened in April 1970 as part of the inaugural section of the line, the station was originally named Népstadion, or in English People's Stadium, until 2004, and then known as Stadionok or Stadiums until 2011. Looks like a decent place to grab a bite to eat on the go. There's a double island platform, but it seems as though the central tracks aren't being used currently. Off we go to our next port of call, Keleti Pályaudvar, where we're zooming up the escalators and out to some lovely blue skies. Ideal. There's a metro connection here to the end of the Green Line or Line 4, and it's quite an expansive area just below ground level. I'm just buzzing that the sun is out though. Everything looks better with a golden glow.
It looks as though we've seen a sudden drastic improvement in the weather, which is great for the videos. Actually, in a couple of days, there's meant to be a bit of a one-off heat wave day as well. So we'll see how that goes and how much I probably complain about that once it happens. Anyway, there's a lot to do around here, so let's go take a look.
Keleti Railway Station is the main international and intercity railway terminal in Budapest. Its name in English means Eastern Railway Station due to its position within the city and its original role as a terminus of the lines from eastern Hungary, including Transylvania and the Balkans. The building was designed by Gyula Rochlitz and János Feketeházy in eclectic style between 1881 and 1884. Budapest Keleti has 7 platforms serving 13 tracks. It's now time to weave through the streets to discover what's between here and the next station on the line.
So instead of just walking directly down the street to the next station, we're going to take a little bit of a detour around the back streets just to see if there's anything quirky or unusual down here.
And it was well worth the slight diversion away from the main drag to check out this beautiful church. The parish church of St. Elizabeth of Hungary, located on Rózsák Square, is an architectural masterpiece designed by Imre Steindl and built with a capacity of 2,560 people. The imposing church evokes elements of early French Gothic architecture and has decorative similarities to a more famous Budapest building that we'll see further down the line, which was designed by the same architect and constructed largely with the same group of workers at around the same time. Another lesser known spot in this beautiful city that's well worth checking out if you're visiting Budapest.
Well, that was a pretty cool little find. I'm not a religious person at all really, but the construction and architecture that's gone into some of these churches across Central and Eastern Europe is just unbelievable. Imagine actually trying to build something like that. You wouldn't even know where to start. Again, I'm kind of still struggling with my voice on the recordings a bit due to this never-ending man flu / cold that has plagued me on this Poland and Hungary trip. But anyway, we're going to head towards the next station. It's the one that I'm staying very close to. So let's go there.
The famous New York Cafe, which is absolutely beautiful inside, well worth a visit if you're heading to Budapest. As you can see though, it's very popular with queues out the door.
So this area around Blaha, Luja has proven to be a really good area to stay in because there are a lot of restaurants, cafes, little supermarkets, even your Aldi's and Lidl's around here, so it's really easy to pick up snacks, food on the go, drinks, coffees, and also the transport links are excellent around here. It's really central to everything, very easy to get everywhere.
The station name sign has been splattered with stickers though, not a great look. Plenty of little stores to grab some food or a gadget before heading down to catch the train. Back on the train, we're off to the next station, Astoria. Astoria is also one of the places where you can get the airport bus from, including at night if you're getting a night airport bus, so it's a pretty important stop. As you can see, it's another one where you can top up on snacks to keep your journey running smoothly.
Just had another ticket check, definitely the most ticket checks I've seen on any metro, so make sure you've got your tickets if you're coming to Budapest.
This area just outside the station is definitely one of my faves on the line, despite the police sirens in the background.
We're already into our last hour or so of light, so it's time to get a move on and head to one of the, well, the biggest change station on the Budapest Metro. Let's go there ASAP.
There are some really nice side streets just off the main drag here, plenty of cool graffiti art on the side of buildings too, love that. Just by Deák Ferenc tér, there's a handy tourist information centre next to one of the entrances and exits, and in front of here is also one of the main airport bus stops, again including at night. You can see it here listed on the sign. As a main change station, tere has some yellow, red and blue line action going on, 1, 2 and 3. We're heading back down now to rejoin line 2 and journey by metro to our next port of call, tere. This brings us right out at one of Budapest's most iconic and recognisable buildings, the Hungarian Parliament Building.
And yet another ticket check there, so definitely make sure you got your tickets. And now we're off at tere, something like that, which is right next to the Hungarian Parliament, which is an absolutely stunning building, as you'll be able to see in the previous and the coming pictures. I've actually been to Budapest once before, but it was a long time ago, 2009, and I stayed pretty close to here in some kind of little backpackers hostel. And it was actually a really nice area. Beautiful views across the river as well. It seems actually a lot quieter than the previous station as well, considering it's only one step further on the metro. So let's have a look around.
This area is fully giving off classy vibes, a perfect place to chill at this time of day. But one thing about Nick's Metro Line adventures is, they're never really that chill.
So the next station on the red line is directly at the other side of the river. If we get over there quickly, we might be able to get the views from the other side before it gets dark. There's also something called the Fisherman's Bastion or Fisherman's Lookout. There's something where there's a high viewing point. But whether we will get there, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, if we want to make it down to those Fairytale towers, it's back down onto the metro we go to head under the Danube. Even close to rush hour, this line is serving a rather relaxed experience, which is great because I'm about to go on an absolute mission. Off at tere, it's time to head up and up and up.
So it's the first time on the Buda side of the river on this particular trip, and I'm gonna try and get to this Fisherman's Bastion viewing point, which looks close on the maps, but that doesn't always mean that it actually is. It's also obviously as a viewing point further uphill, and would it be one of my vlogs if I didn't try at the last minute to get to the viewing point before it got dark.
So it's time to weave through a few streets and more than a few staircases, get that heart pumping.
Oh, so right now I'm just following any staircases that go up, presuming that is going to take us to the Fisherman's Bastion. It's really hard to walk uphill with a cold. Breathing is difficult anyway, but this area is so quiet and beautiful. The feel across, I suppose, the Parliament on the Pest side, that immediately felt quieter than the sort of centre bit of Pest. But over on the Buda side, it feels almost like a different city entirely. It's so chill. Let's hope I'm going to get to the viewing point while there still might be a view. And if I'm going the wrong way, we done. Right. If you're still watching and you're enjoying it, it's a good idea to subscribe.
Or if you just feel sorry for me having to run upstairs and talk, I'll take either, to be fair. And here we are arriving at the Buda Castle district and the stunning Fisherman's Bastion lookout point. I mean, immediately, it's absolutely stunning, just look at this. Another of Budapest's absolute gems that you could easily spend hours exploring. Fisherman's Bastion was built in the late 19th century and offers this fairy tale-like setting with panoramic views over the Danube and the Hungarian Parliament, making it one of the most iconic UNESCO World Heritage Sites and a top photography spot.
Well, that was worth the climb. Absolutely stunning up here. By the looks of the map, if I keep walking uphill and don't die of breathlessness, I should be able to get to the second last station. In fact, both of the final stations are fairly close to here, so let's try and walk a bit more uphill and get there.
It's immediately a lot quieter behind Fisherman's Bastion, but still so many beautiful buildings and squares to admire.
So the darkness is descending pretty quickly. It's actually lighter on the camera than it is in real life now. I think by the looks of the map, the last station is actually closer to where we were than the second last. But for the sake of completeness and doing this metro journey properly, we're going to go to the second last, and then we'll probably take the metro to the last one, which I think is also a big train station. So yeah, let's go there. Seems like everywhere you go in this city, there are just stunning buildings. Even on like a random square, there's nobody around, literally nobody in this area, away from the main sort of Fisherman's Bastion and church. And there's this just all by itself, nobody paying much attention to it. Wild.
Absolutely worth escaping the other tourists and checking this out for yourself in person.
I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
Looks like we're heading a bit further downhill before potentially back uphill. I don't know, or maybe it's just downhill to the subway. I can't actually tell from the map. If I have to go down and then back up something, I'm gonna go into a mood. Like if you want to see that.
Luckily, after going up and then down, we eventually made it to the penultimate station, Széll Kálmán. This square is one of the city's busiest transport interchanges, served by over 20 bus lines, 9 tram lines, and of course Metro Line 2. The station was opened in December 1972 as part of an extension to the line which took it across to the Buda side of the river.
Okay, let's take the final journey to the last station.
At 38.4 metres or 126 feet below ground level, this is Budapest Metro's deepest station. The very empty carriage takes us in luxury style to the final station, Déli pályaudvar, which serves Budapest Déli Railway Station, one of the city's 3 biggest train stations. Let's head up into the station and take a look around. Train-tastic.
So we've made it to the final station, Déli pályaudvar, and that's where we're going to leave it for today. So if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. It really makes a difference if I get over 1,000 to the videos continuing. So if you do like it, please hit the subscribe button, because there are a lot more viewers than subscribers. I know everybody says it, but it's really important. Also, if you're a regular follower and you're already a subscriber, make sure to like and comment. These things really help as well. And I'll see you in the next video.